At the start of your healing journey, you already knew what the issue was. You may not have had the language for it. You may not have known what to call it. You may not have understood the emotional mechanics behind it, but you knew what was hurting. You knew where the pain was coming from. And deep down, you probably knew what needed to change. The difficult, demanding or abusive parent, the kiddle you were mothering, pacifying and tiptoeing around in your relationship just to keep the peace. The job you hated, the one-sided friendships where you overgave, over-understood and over-accommodated and received little in return. The family member who still had too much access to you. The person you kept going back to even though every return cost you another piece of yourself. You knew. That's the bit nobody talks about. Most people do not begin the healing journey because they're completely clueless. They begin it because they're in pain and they're frightened and the thing they need to do feels emotionally impossible. Not practically impossible, emotionally impossible. Because doing the thing would bring up fear, guilt, shame, sadness, anger, loneliness and grief. The terror of being judged, the fear of being disliked, the terror of losing someone, even someone who's hurting you. So instead of doing the thing, they go looking for answers. And I understand that. It's a courageous thing to do. It's far more courageous to look deeper than another bottle of antidepressants, another shopping spree, another bottle of wine, another distraction, another quick fix, another 10 years pretending you're fine. So you look for help. And before long, you find the world of therapy, self-help, healing and spirituality. And suddenly you have a new language. I'm a work in progress. I'm healing one issue at a time. I'm holding space. I'm peeling back another layer of the onion. I'm integrating. I'm processing. I'm an empath. I'm healing my mother wound. I'm working on my attachment style. I'm learning to regulate my nervous system. And at first it feels wonderful because you finally have words. You finally have explanations. Finally someone is helping you make sense of why you feel the way you feel. And I will never dismiss the relief of that. Insight can be powerful. Language can be powerful. And understanding your patterns can be powerful. But insight is not implementation. And this is where the modern healing journey often falls apart. Because 5, 10, sometimes even 20 years later, many people are still living with the same pain, but with a better vocabulary. They can explain why they people please, but they are still saying yes when they desperately want to say no. They know their boundaries are porous, but they are still reasserting them to people who have already shown they do not care where the line is. You can name 4 different avoidant attachment types beautifully, but you're still reacting to that one text like it contains the entire future of the relationship. You know they care too much what people think, but one tone, one look, one bit of criticism, or one awkward silence can still ruin your whole day. You know your mother is difficult, controlling, cruel, or emotionally immature, but you still answer the phone with your stomach in knots. You know the relationship is wrong, but you still go back. You know the friendship is one-sided, but you still keep making excuses. You know the job is draining the life out of you, but you still stay because the fear of changing it feels bigger than the misery of keeping it. And this is where we have to ask the question nobody in the healing industry seems particularly keen to ask. Is it working? Not does it feel soothing? Not does it give you a new language? Not does it explain your childhood? Not does it make you feel seen for an hour? Is it working? Is your life changing? Are you making different decisions? Are you saying no? Are you telling the truth? Are you leaving what hurts? Are you taking responsibility? Are you becoming less frightened of other people's reactions? Are you finally doing the one thing you set out to do at the very beginning? Because for many people the answer is no. And that isn't because you're lazy. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're failing at healing. It's because healing often explains the pain without teaching the emotional maturity required to act on what the pain is showing you. That's the missing piece, emotional education. Because the real issue is not that you don't understand enough. The real issue is that you were never taught what to do with the feelings that appear when you finally stop abandoning yourself. Nobody taught you how to feel fear without obeying it. Nobody taught you how to feel guilt without crawling back. Nobody taught you how to feel shame without hiding. Nobody taught you how to feel sadness without using it as proof that you're unacceptable. Nobody taught you how to feel anger without becoming cruel, explosive, or terrified of yourself. So of course you stay stuck. Of course you overthink. Of course you people please. Of course you keep trying to explain basic decency to emotionally immature adults. Of course you keep wanting to feel ready. Because the moment you move towards real change, the feelings arrive. And if you've never been taught how to feel them, these feelings will stop you. This is why so many people know exactly what they need to do and still can't bloody do it. Not because they need another layer of the onion peeling back. Not because Mercury is in the microwave. Not because their inner child needs another worksheet and a snack. Because they are emotionally undereducated. They have insight, they have language, they have explanations, they may even have a bookshelf full of wisdom and a phone full of inspirational quotes. But they do not have the emotional maturity to implement what they already know. And this is why the modern healing journey can become so seductive. Because it allows you to feel like you are doing something without requiring you to do a thing. You can keep healing, you can keep processing and peeling and explaining. You can keep waiting until you feel ready. And all the while the original issue is there. The parent, the partner, the job, the friendship, the loneliness, the fear, the life that keeps hurting. Still sitting there, still waiting, still costing you. That does not mean therapy, self-help and healing are evil. They're not. Many people find relief there. Many people gain insight there. Many people begin there because they're trying to help themselves, and that should be respected. But relief is not the same as change. Insight is not the same as implementation. Understanding the wound is not the same as knowing what to do next. And at some point, if the pain is still running your life, the question has to change. Not what else do I need to heal, but what have I never been taught? What is fear? What is guilt? What is shame? What is sadness? What is anger? What are these emotions for? What are they trying to tell me? And how do I stop letting them make the decisions? This is emotional education. And in the next video, we'll explore why the missing emotional education in childhood is both the answer and the permanent solution to emotional pain. Because you don't need to spend the rest of your life healing what only ever needed changing.